So, get the drive shafts in now. These are in the clear top, 2 drive shafts. Two rear hub assemblies. Moving on to baggie E. Two upper arms, 2 pins, and a bag of screws. Get these out. Pins out, so they don't go wandering off. And again, this is as simple as the front. The only difference you've got is the 2 ball joints. They need to be facing forward. So as you look at it, that's the right one, that's the left one. Again, they're identical in most ways, but obviously they are right and left handed. I don't know if it's actually got any markings on, and it does. Let's get that one there, see if that one's got it on. It does actually have left and right on the bottom tab, so you can't really go wrong with these. And I've said that before and gone wrong. So we'll slide that pin in, get the little retaining screw, snug that up. This is where you put one of your drive shafts in. The gearbox end first, turn. It's a hex nut. Oh, and the upper arms are actually handed as well. That's the left one, and that should be definitely the right one, which it is. So it's nice that they do put left and right on, so you can't really make a mistake. Sure that turns freely, which it does. Turn her around. See now the mounts in. You could actually put your cables up through there. I don't know if there's a little hole. No. It'd be nice if they just put a little hole in the top, so you could put them up like that and run a zip tie through them. Once the top cover's on, because there is a cover that goes over that, I think. Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a driver in it. So once the cover's on, it'll cover that up and it should keep them there. Anyway, back onto the subject. Get that on there. Slide the pin in. That's it. Retaining screw. Snug that one up. I can see that cable doing my head in. Stay. Again, just fasten them up. It's not like talking to your wires. The doors are told then. You're so men in funny white coats come and pick you up. So that's it guys, that's the main part of the chassis done. Front rear arms. Electronics installed, motor installed, rear arms installed. So now we'll get on to the suspension. Now with these, they are only friction. Which feel quite tough. But you will notice a little bit of a difference. That one, the one on the right, is a thicker spring than the one on the left. And to be honest, the front one is stupidly bouncy. Now one thing that I'd noticed with this one over the axe came with the shock conversion kit to convert them to oil. So I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't put it in this, because the shocks are identical. They're the same on this, obviously it's the same chassis. So that's going to be a future mod for this, oil shocks. See which one goes on where. Now by the looks of it, he's suggesting the stiffer ones go on the rear, which makes sense. And also something that I did notice with the axe is that once the cover's on, not so much the body, but the cover that goes over the electronics, you can't get to the top adjusters. So I think that's why they may have put stiffer springs on the back, because you just simply can't get to them without taking the entire body off, which is a bit of a pain. But it's one of them things that we have to cope with and work with. But it will be getting oil shocks at some point. This is going to be modded quite a bit. Make sure that's not too tight. I want it to be fairly free. There we go. And that one. Now, it does say to put them in the upper hole on the upper shock mount. There's only 2 holes you can put it in. Same as the front, there's only 2 holes. You put them in, and with the standard shocks, you just put them in the top ones. And you want to make sure that's nice and loose. And then we attach it to the bottom. Now this is going to be easier upside down. It's all nice and loose. It's not binding anywhere, which it isn't. It's always good when it works. Now the back ones are not too bad, even though they are friction. Well, they say that they're friction. There's nothing actually in them. Inside the internals of the shock, creating any friction. It's purely on the springs. It's not like the old Tamiya ones, the old red Tamiya friction shocks, where there's a little bit of rubber on the inside creating some friction. Personally, I'd rather have those Tamiya shocks over these shocks, because some damping is better than none. So that's the rears done. I don't think the rears will be too bad. It still needs some damping, Front ones definitely need damping. They are way too soft. I know it's meant for off-road, but the front end of this is going to be bouncing all over the place. That's the rear assembly done.